Welcome to Gentry's Garage. I apologize for the long interval in between videos, but I was sick and the weather wasn't cooperating too much on the weekends, so I wasn't getting much done. But January 3rd, we dropped the motor in, which I'm going to segue into. It was wonderful because I live on a 30-degree incline, so I think you'll like this portion of the video. After that, we're going to start talking about clearances. But till then, let's watch that other video and we'll get back to it.
Is it going? Yeah, it's going. Yeah, boy. Oh yeah, we shouldn't be talking about it.
Let's drag this motor out, guys. Come on.
Alright.
Torino. Try not to scratch it. Woo! Okay. Yeah, I got the intent. Or is that strap going to go through? Will that strap go through? I don't know where it goes. No, it's thin. It's thin again. Where's it going to hook? Back it up. Oh, okay. Got it. You guys got it? Those llaves, got a couple wrenches. Got a couple wrenches inside the wrenches in the back and then wrenches? Yeah, just a couple wrenches.
Hey Justin. Hey. It's in the right place?
That's pretty much right. You might have to go back some, guys.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. That's good. That's good enough. Woo! That was pretty big in there. I think I got to slide it back about 3 inches. But for right now,
That's it.
don't need so much. Hold on. How is it, guys? I'll show it to the Torino next. Well, as you can tell, I was a pretty happy camper. It's kind of funny, actually, but I was very happy because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do that on this slope. So, to recap just a little bit and then to go into it. In my earlier video, I showed you that I cut this down. I believe it was 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches, so I could have clearance for the intercooler. Okay, if you're not going to run an intercooler, you've actually doing a lot better, and you could probably run the original radiator. Okay, because the intercooler and radiator here are pretty much the same depth, but they're wide. This is a little bit wider than the M135 M211 radiator. Okay, now as far the engine is pretty much within 1/2 inch of its final resting place. The rule of thumb is the bigger trucks, the medium duty and up, should have 1 fan blade distance in between the fan blade and the radiator. Okay, so in my case these are 2-inch blades. All right, so I've got pretty close to 2 inches right now. What was interesting is that I measured the Dodge Cummins, and its distance is 1 1/4. So if you're really, really want to keep it tighter, you could probably go as close as 1 1/4. But I plan to pull some heavy loads with this truck, so the extra distance will definitely be safer on the radiator. Another thing, if you've really got distance problems, you can run electric fans. Now the electric fans, you probably won't have nearly as many issues because the depth is a lot shallower. I think they were like 3 1/4 for the size that I needed for this engine. But this is a military truck, and aside from fording, I wanted the mechanical fan because, you know, the military truck is a mechanical thing, and that's why they lasted so long compared to other vehicles. Now, right now, our body is 6 inches behind the original mounting places. Okay, so we're going to have to cut the firewall. On the other side, we're going to have to trim the battery box and the firewall. The cab right now is 6 inches from its normal spot, and our closest interference is the exhaust manifold mount, and that is 4 inches from the firewall. So we're looking at, intrusion into the cab about 2 inches. So it's not going to be that big of a cut. The only thing that yet to be really determined is if I'm going to lower the engine some. If I lower the engine some, I will run into less interference, but I also would really want to run the M35A2 brake pedal assembly because I want to keep it in the same feeling as the original ones where the pedals were mounted on the floor. It'd be much easier if I do decide to do the hanging pedals, both in plumbing and in space and ease, but I kind of want to keep it looking that, so I'm going to fight to the very end until I make that decision. But it's looking good. I'm very pleased with it, and like I said, if you want to run electric fans, you'd have even less issues. Let's see. I've got like 5.5 inches to the front, and remember the electric fan was 3.5, so there's 1.5 more inches. So you probably could just take a darn hammer and beat the firewall, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm going to run the mechanical fan, and I'm going to run the clearance of one fan blade. Excuse me, one fan blade width. Thank you for watching. I hope it's as fun as it was for me. And like and subscribe, and watch again. Hopefully it won't be as long. Thank you.